All right, everyone, welcome back to the Motor Breakdown. I'm Polo from MotoAcademy.ca. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please check out MotoAcademy.ca. Appreciate everyone's support. Now we're going to get crazy. We're going to remove everything off of the rims. To some, that may not be crazy. To me, it's my first time doing it. And once again, I am not a professional. So, again, if you follow what I do, it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, again, you can blow up your motorcycle and create a time paradox that destroys everything in the universe. So be careful for that one. Let's get cracking. All right, getting started here. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to take the disc off. So in regards to the tools I'm using, I opted to not purchase a tire stand, and I didn't know anyone that could lend me one. Theoretically, I would need it 4 times here. I chose not to invest in it right now. So again, hopefully I don't live to regret it. So I'm using the good old 15-liter bucket trick. I have lined the rim of the bucket with some microfiber cloth just to, make things hopefully a little bit easier on the rim. In regards to the Allen hex key required for this, it is the 6mm key. I'm going to be taking this off, and it's going to be sitting around for a little bit. So I do recommend you keep all this hardware in a safe place. Organization is going to be pretty important. Don't lose it, obviously. I'm going to use these little plastic bags that I have to keep all the screws in there, and some larger. I'm just going to put the discs inside a cardboard box that I have that kind of fits the discs. But you can use paper bags, you can use a Tupperware container, whatever works for you. Just don't lose the stupid screws. Do you notice these screws have blue Loctite on them? I believe the official Suzuki Loctite is 1360. I think blue Loctite from Permatex or whatever the other brand is. I think it is Loctite. I think it's like 242 or something like that. Okay, disc is off. Be careful. I'm going to measure the thickness of the disc later. It's not something that I'm going to focus on quite yet. I'm not going to bother with cleaning the rim in any great capacity. I'll give it a wipe down. If you mess up your rims in any way, or if someone else does, or whatever the case is, don't go the touch-up route like I did to save some money. Just get a professional to do it. If you are that professional, you have all the tools required to paint things, then by all means do it yourself. I know that I'm going to be trying to pry these off myself, these tires off myself. So it's a good thing I'm getting them painted, just in case something bad happens. But we're going to try to avoid that, because in the future I may choose to change my own tires again, and obviously I don't want to have to repaint the rim every single time. Oh yeah, as you can see me squatting down, I still haven't gotten that little stool that I said I was going to get. So also, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to discuss, obviously, the motorcycle here is on its stands. Again, these stands are great. I feel very confident in leaving the motorcycle without wheels for an extended period of time, so I'm not concerned about that. But as an added precaution, I grabbed a couple of jack stands that I have, like a couple of those automotive jack stands, and I put each one underneath each side of the swing arm, just as an added precaution, because you never know. And under the engine, I just used my floor jack here, my 3-ton fancy pants car jack, and I just raised that up to the engine. So it's underneath the exhaust header, so not an ideal position to lift the motorcycle if you had to, but it's the most forward position I could put it, because I only have 2 jack stands. So if I had 2 more jack stands, I'd probably put it underneath the 2 forks. or the other option is to use a wood block that goes across the two forks. If you're wondering why I'm not using like a driver to remove these, or my fancy pants impact wrench, I'm wondering why I'm not doing that either. So I think I'm going to have to do that. You know what? Let's remove this last screw with that impact wrench. All right, so we're gonna get down to the fun part. So the first step is easy. That's removing the valve core. So that's not an issue. I'm also changing the hand protection here, the hand wear, to from my mechanics gloves to just regular old nitro gloves. On the topic of protective wear, I mean, wear whatever makes you comfortable. I'm wearing, you know, safety shoes just in case. You never know. And obviously gloves. But whatever helps you do the job better, you should do. Okay. Breaking the bead is the hardest part here. Obviously, I don't have a machine or a hydraulic press, and I'm not using a C clamp. I actually don't have a C clamp big enough to do this. I'm not going to do the 2x4 leverage under the car trick either. I'm going to go with the old-fashioned way of breaking the bead by hand. I got these. These are the knockoff bead breaking tools. They are advertised, and the reviews say, I got these off of Amazon. The reviews say they work just as well. An important thing in conducting research on how to do this well enough, in regards to inserting these into the rim or the spoons, in conducting that research, this is from a YouTube comment actually. They say to wrap the tips with some kind of tape to prevent scratching the rims, or at least reduce the chance of that happen. And that's what I'm going to do. Some painter's tape, just make that happen. Tape up the ends. So again, I mean, shouldn't be too worried about this. I am getting this thing painted, but let's try to do it right the first time. Measure twice, cut once. Sure, a wise person once said that. So as I was saying, this is the beauty of learning, where you get to. I mean, I'm not saying it's good that other people make mistakes, but that's how you learn. You basically have to. Something has to go wrong for you to learn something to do well. So it's always best to learn from others' mistakes and avoid them where possible. But you can still commit them. There's no guarantees in life. This may or may not work. I have no idea. Again, these things are advertised to break beads. We're gonna find out, man. We are absolutely going to find out. I got some tire lube. I don't know if I need it yet. Oh, this thing's kind of annoying, isn't it? I may have to use the floor. I have zero doubt, absolute zero doubt, that this would actually scratch the rim if it wasn't taped up. So there's that. Let's get in there. Okay. Oh, tape's already toast. It kind of slips out. It's kind of weird. It makes me. Is this working? I hope it's working. Someone tell me it's working. I think it is working, even though the bottom part keeps slipping back. I don't know if that matters or not. Let's just keep going here. I've kind of given up on the tape. So the paint on these particular tools It's not the best. It just basically chips right off. So, I mean, I don't really care about the paint on the tools. It's just an observation. Just gonna put a couple of pieces here. Does it make a difference? I don't know, but if it does, great. And if it doesn't, then tape is cheap, rubber is expensive. Wise words from a very, very wise man. Basically, to use as much lube as you need to get the job done. And the mantra is lube cheap, rim expensive. Get in there. Thing's sliding away from me. Come back here. I want to go with this is work. And tape just comes right off on this thing. Tape cheap, rim expensive. Tape cheap, rim expensive. There is no spoon. It's all in my head. Just about there. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, this side's done. Minty mint. As far as the review of these tools work, they work. I'll see what the damage is on the rim afterwards and see if my taping efforts made a difference. So let's do the right side. It's kind of tough to get him in on the first one. Pretty confident that just took the paint right off the edge of the rim there. Get in there. Beauty. Nice. Thank you. This thing's kind of sharp, actually. The tool here, the edge of the tool, it's actually like sharp, like sharp, sharp. There's no other way to say it. It's sharp. Will admit, it does take a little bit of physical effort. Like this isn't like as easy as a hydraulic tire change machine, but I mean it can be done. And versus like having to use 3 spoons to do the same job. So these were, how much were they? They were like on sale for like I think $50, less than $50, like $47 or something like that. And these are like the longest ones available. Just like a short one, which I think would suck to be honest with you. But the kind of like patented, if it is patented at all anymore, since these exist, the Motion Pro ones, Canadian, they cost like I think they cost like 130. Oh, I should focus here. I think they cost like $130. Just taking small steps here. I mean, if this takes me all day long, it doesn't. Well, I hope it doesn't. but better to take your time than to rush and not do it correctly and mess something up. Nobody wants that. Least of all me. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, I'm gonna switch knees. Oh, what am I doing? I have knee pads. The beauty of learning. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you fix them. For those that, if I haven't mentioned it already in other videos, for those that don't know, I'm also a motorcycle instructor, and that's what I tell my students all the time. You know, for example, if you're on your exam, you find yourself doing 55 when you should be doing 50, fix it. You're not going to fail if you fix it. If you don't fix it, you will fail. All right. I can say for an absolute fact, this is not good on your back. All right, what's my back worth, right? It's actually worth saving the several $100s that this would cost. So, and I'll have these tools forever. So this is awesome. In the future, would I invest in a tire stand. I don't know. I mean, how often am I gonna do this? Like, these tires have like, I don't know. They have like, I don't know, like 2,000 kilometers on them. So, and then after that, I'll change them again, and whatever next tires will last, whatever 6,000, 8,000 kilometers. So, I don't think I will. Yep, it's gonna keep replacing this tape until the cows come home. Doesn't matter to me. I actually do think the tape is helping because there's a lot of uh, friction against the tool and going into the lip of the rim. So I actually do believe that it is helping. The tips get messed up pretty quickly, but the sides there, um, I think it's helping quite a lot. So anonymous YouTube commenter person, thank you very much for your advice. I do appreciate it. Can I do the rest of it by hand? What the? Like, it looks pretty broken, but why can't they pull it off of you? What's going on? There we go. Yeah. Oh, it's just not coming down on this side over here for some reason. There we go. I'll just inch my way over. Beauty here, beauty here, beauty. Okay. I just label left side just to make it idiot proof. You know, I mean, I did overlook using power tools, so you never know, right? So, okay. So, the important thing is to use the drop dead center here to be able to take this thing off. So, I'm going to squish this thing. That one there, that side's pretty much drop dead center. So maybe I'll start on this side here. So these basic rim protectors came with the. I mean, Motion Pro sells some fancy, expensive ones, but like they look like they'll work. But like all the videos I see of people using them is that when they do the spooning, it just flies out. so I've seen enough videos where that happens, where it's like this doesn't look like it's worth it. So I'm just going to use these. Can I get them in there? A little stiff, but hey, stiff is good. Am I right? Get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Okay. Okay, let's get this going. This is where lube, cheap, tire, rim expensive comes into play. If this doesn't work, I'll just use Windex or soapy water or whatever people use, right? I don't think I think this comes pre-diluted, so I'm just going to add it on there. Come on. There we go. Yep, get down there. There we go. Got that going. I'm going to add another one of these over here. Tire Slick tire lubricant. It works. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, that's there. Oh, look at that. I was able to do it by hand. Nice. That's even better. Tire's off. My SD card ran out of memory, so that's why you didn't see it, but it's off. That was actually harder than I perhaps anticipated. But the first half is super easy. It's just that second part is a little tough. Next video is going to be the rear. I suspect it's going to be harder, so not looking forward to it, but we're going to do it anyway. Thank you Thank you for joining me on this video, on this motor breakdown. We're going to keep it going on the next one. Cheers.